Welcome to the Darwinian Delusions channel. We're going to do something different today. What I want to do is speak about Darwinian evolution as a religion and the sort of experiences of someone who used to believe in Darwinian evolution. And on this show today, I have with me Jerry. Assalamu alaikum, bro.
Assalamu alaikum.
How you doing, bro?
Yeah, alhamdulillah, I'm good. Just arrived here, Brother Sabur, he caught me nicely and we've set up a little impromptu video.
He didn't come with any intention. I just thought, okay, you know what, let me just get this on video. So Jerry, alhamdulillah, he's one of the brothers who goes out with us to convey the message of Islam. He used to be, you were an atheist for
15 years.
15 years.
Solid atheist. Pretty, I'd say about 90% on a scale of percentages.
So like
in strength of my
you believe in materialism. You believe that, you know, the universe, there's no God, Darwinian evolution is true.
I was absolutely stern on the fact that there was no God, but I was in flux with regards to evolution being true. I mean, any time I actually thought about evolution, just using my own common sense, I couldn't believe in it.
Really?
But my nafs was pulling me towards the other direction, because I was also surrounded by other atheists, and you know,
there's that slight uncertainty there.
Oh, there always was, yeah, there always was. But like any time I dug deeper into it, I started to doubt it, you know, because it just doesn't make sense from a common sense point of view. That that apes can transition into humans, you know.
And you know, it all is a blind chemical, physical process, just running on its own, and it just leads to everything.
Well, the reason most people push evolution is they say that creatures adapt to their circumstance, but apes are already perfectly adapted to their natural environment. Whereas if you put us in their environment, we're going to fail and die very quickly. And the environment we live in right now is not something we adapted to. It's quite the opposite. It's something we adapted to suit us. So the premise of evolving to suit our needs, it just falls down immediately.
We're changing the environment all the time.
Exactly. And like, why do we not still have a bunch of transitionary phases in between apes and us?
Well, also another way of thinking about it is, you know, the whole thing that we can go to space, we can do quantum mechanics, we can sit here, we can film, we can do these things, yet, you know, our cousins are still throwing bananas at each other in the jungle.
Rocks.
So there's a difference. Now, why I wanted to get your sort of opinion on this is, if you remember a few weeks ago, I was getting you to check this material on Darwinian evolution, and you started saying some interesting things. Now, do you think most of the atheists out there, they actually understand it and they believe in it, or do you think it's just like a sort of social thing?
I think it's very much a social thing, driven by the nafs, going by my own experience with atheists from when I was an atheist, and also after I became Muslim, alhamdulillah. Because if you cling to something like this, it gives you like a backing or a foundation for throwing away all moral responsibility.
Oh, that's an interesting point.
Because
so it's like,
if you accept the hereafter and you accept that you have a creator, then automatically responsibilities come with that to some extent. So that's why I believe my nafs was pulling me towards the evolutionary materialistic side of things, although, like I say, when I actually stopped by myself and thought about it
as an atheist,
it didn't make sense.
Okay, now that's very interesting, because sometimes when I go out and I speak to people, and I'm sure you have the same experience, and you say to people, where did we come from, you know, they just give you a label, you know, read this book, or you know, Dawkins said this or whatever, but they don't have a clue. No. They literally don't have a clue. Now, the other thing which I wanted to speak about was that Richard Dawkins, in his book The Blind Watchmaker, he says Darwin allowed us to be intellectually satisfied atheists, right? So do you think, even at an academic level, do you think the scientists who are atheists, they have this bias and therefore they're more likely to try and fit the data into the theory rather than the other way around?
From an Islamic point of view, I would say most definitely, yeah. I mean, from their point of view, the scientists, the particular scientists that you're speaking about, I mean, why did they even pursue science? If everything is materialistic and it's all about the how, then there is no why for anything.
Mm.
You know, there's no reason for us to even listen to their conclusions, because what they're doing for them is just completely baseless. So yeah, maybe a lack of honesty is one of the
So
big
basically,
barriers
you're
for them,
speaking
yeah.
about, you know, nihilism, everything being
Yeah,
the same.
nihilism, yeah.
And it's interesting because I remember, I think once we were speaking about this a few weeks ago, you believed in that. You believed everything was the
yeah,
same.
absolutely. Yeah.
So
I believed everything
how did he
was
function?
pointless.
How did he function?
With difficulty. With difficulty, yeah. I mean, when you are nihilistic, so to speak, and you believe everything is pointless, you need something to latch onto to amuse you and or waste your time at the same time. I suppose you need a cause, and different people latch on to different things, and you can see they're emotionally attached to that which has no benefit for them. But if you dig deep with any atheist on the planet, and you keep asking them why, very quickly you're going to run into the obvious fact that their base is I don't know. So they have no why, they have no reason to build upon anything. For them it's just a bunch of, anything that happens is just a bunch of random, what did you say?
Just random molecules.
Random events. Yeah, random event on top of random event on top of random event, including their pursuit of science.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, we're all going to the same place. And
What's the incentive?
yeah, what's the incentive for anything for these people? I mean,
Mm.
I was honest with myself when I was an atheist, and I started to ask myself, why do I get up out of bed in the morning? And I couldn't answer this question. I could put fake answers up, but deep down something within me had to acknowledge that I couldn't answer this question. And I suppose they would say they want to make the world a better place through their pursuit of science, but if the world is pointless and random, it cannot be made better. They're basically deluding themselves, because that which is pointless remains pointless, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
You need a foundational reason for everything you do, or you're just wasting your time until you pop your clogs. You know, I mean,
Absolutely. You're just going to the same place. You're just going to go to the grave, and that's going to be the end of it all. Now, what we're going to be doing, inshallah, God willing, is we're going to be doing more and more videos speaking about the atheist perspective from a former atheist, about, you know, views of life. And inshallah, one of the videos we want to speak about as well is morality. Right? I know that's going to get you going, right? Morality. How does morality make sense from an atheistic perspective? So, Darwinism is actually a religion because it's accepted.
it's dogma, isn't it?
It's dogma, right? They don't understand it, yet they still accept it. By the way, I've been promoting this book. This is a new book. It's been out for just a few months. Darwinism as Religion, written by an atheist, philosopher of science, published by Oxford University, mainstream academics admitting that it is actually a religion. Jazakallah khair for joining me on the show.
Why, yeah.
Inshallah, we'll have you soon as well.
Assalamu
Assalamu
alaikum.
alaikum.